Hi everyone, greetings to you. I'm doing this video to answer some of the questions I have been asked since after my last video. Before I go into answering them, first I want to say I am not an immigration expert. I do not own a care home. I do not do connections for any kind of jobs. I'm simply giving you information that I've come across, okay? Information I know about. That's just what I'm sharing with you. It could be useful to you. It could be useful to someone else in your circle. So do well to share this information. If you think it's not for you, you can share it to someone. It could be useful to them, all right? That being said, one of the questions I've received inbox is, oh, Chi, I heard Nigeria is on the red list. Are they still recruiting from Nigeria? Some have said, but they are no longer recruiting from Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria is on the red list. Are people from Nigeria still getting jobs to go overseas to work as care workers? Yes, they are. All right. So when they say Nigeria is on the red list, that means that care organizations from the UK and other, Western countries can no longer come to countries like Nigeria, Ghana, and these other countries on the red list to actively recruit workers. When I say actively recruit workers, I mean they cannot come like they used to do in the past, hold career fairs and, actively recruit people in their numbers, promising them, incentives and, all that, just to get them to come and work for them. It's no longer allowed. But does this stop you as an individual from applying directly to these organizations? No. So you are allowed to apply directly to these organizations. Say you see a job advert and you think you have the required documents and, essential criteria, then you go ahead and apply. If you're considered, then you get the job. So you don't have to use any agency. And it's even good because before now, agencies used to, come and canvass for people and collect a lot of money from them. I've heard people pay as much as £10,000, £15,000 just to get the care visa. This is actually what you don't have to pay to get. So if you have the documents you need, just go ahead and apply for these jobs. And trust me, it's something you can do on your own, okay? If you're determined and you really want it, it's something you can do on your own. But you need to do the work involved. You need to be patient and you need to, just put in your best and hope for the best. All right? So the other question I've been receiving is, how does one go ahead applying for these jobs? What do we need to have in place? What processes are involved? So I've written some of these things down in my jotter, and I'm just going to be glancing at it once in a while to tell you so I don't forget anything, okay? So one on my list is experience. You need to have some kind of care experience. If you don't have any care experience before now, you can find a clinic or a hospital close by and volunteer to be a care worker. That way you get the experience you need, and at the same time, you get a reference from them at the end of the day because you will need it for your job application. So I've heard people say you don't need experience, but the truth is, if you want to get a better chance at getting this job, then you need to have a care experience because there are 1,001 people applying for the same position. Next thing you need to have is your international passport. If you haven't done this already, then go ahead and get it done, okay? The next on my list is your English language test. So this can either be your IELTS or your NARIC certificate. So if you don't have a degree before now, you can go ahead and do the IELTS for UKVI. But if you have a BSc or an MSc, then go ahead and do the NARIC evaluation. This way, you don't have to do IELTS. And the good thing is, NARIC certificate is for life, unlike the IELTS that expires every 2 years. Another thing you need is a healthcare certificate, okay? So you can go to sites like read.co.uk to take some of these healthcare courses. There's this particular one that costs about £10 and it covers about 15 topic areas. I'm going to leave the link to this website in the comment section. And also look out for other courses you can do, and I'll leave the information with you, okay? So the next step will be to prepare your CV to the UK standard. So you need a CV and you also need a supporting statement. Don't forget to add your voluntary experience and also any kind of experience you've had, even if it's not paid experience. Let's say you took care of a family member or a friend who was sick, and then you specify the kind of care you gave. Is it end of life? Is it dementia care? Is it cancer care? Mental health care? Just be more specific when you're writing and talking about the kind of care you've given. So at this point, you can actually begin to actively apply for jobs, okay? If you've gotten all these documents I've mentioned earlier. So you can go to the UK website. I'm going to leave it below in the comment section. Go to the UK website and look out for employers that have the sponsor license and check out their website, look at their job session and begin to apply for jobs. Apply to as many as possible and also get yourself ready for your interview. Prepare yourself very well to make sure you're giving your best in your interview. Other documents you need are your police clearance certificate, which can be done in Alagbon, Lagos, or in Abuja. You also need your TB test done. Why I've left it to this stage is because TB test expires after 6 months. So you don't want to do it so early so that you don't, have to repeat it again. The next thing you need is your international driving license, especially if the job requires you to drive and you've stated that you drive. You will need your international driving license so that you can be able to drive when you arrive in the UK, pending when you get the UK driving license. So this is mostly what you need to apply for your healthcare jobs. If you think I have missed out on something important, kindly put it in the comment section. And I wish you the best in all your applications. You've got this. Stay resilient. Keep pushing.